Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another Rookie Card Collector 123 video. In today's video, we're going to continue our look at my minor league baseball card collection, which I began as a teenager in the late 70s and early 80s, and collected all the way through the early 1990s. So the first card we're going to look at today is a 1984 Kramer, was the manufacturer for this one. This is Jose Rijo. Rijo came up with the New York Yankees as initially, I believe he was a relief pitcher, became a starting pitcher, and later on played for the Cincinnati Reds. I believe he was a member of the 1990 Cincinnati World Championship team. Became an excellent pitcher in the National League for several years. Did not put up a ton of innings, so therefore did not end up with a lot of wins at the end of the season, but was always one of the tops in the league in terms of ERA, hits plus walks divided by innings pitched, and strikeouts as well, considering the low number of innings that he pitched. This one's actually also autographed by Rijo, which is an extra bonus on here. Rijo is pictured with the Tacoma Tigers, which was a AAA Pacific Coast League ball club at this time, and a nice image of Rijo from 1985, the same year as his Topps rookie card. Next up, we have the all-time greatest reliever in Major League Baseball history, Mariano Rivera. Rivera is pictured here at the very beginning of his minor league career with the Fort Lauderdale Yankees. So this would have been, trying to find a spot with less glare. This would have been his 1992 Pro Cards issue. So this would have been the year before he came up to the New York Yankees. And this one would match his 92 Bowman MLB rookie card. The one where he's wearing the crazy sports clothes out of uniform, as many of the 92 Bowman baseball cards were produced that way. So Mariano Rivera, all-time MLB saves leader, and the only player in baseball history to receive 100% of the sports writers' vote, as he was elected to the National Baseball Hall of Fame. Next up is someone might not be nearly as notable as Mariano Rivera. This was Ruben Rivera. I'm not sure if they were related. For some reason, I'm thinking they were cousins or something like that. But Ruben came up with the Yankees right around the same time as Mariano did, maybe a year or two later, in the mid-90s. Rivera progressed through the Yankee minor league system. He was one of the can't-miss five-tool players. Had a lot of power in the minors, stole a lot of bases, played center field, was an excellent fielder, great throwing arm, and batting average was not his best area, but mainly due to strikeouts and issues hitting curveballs. This one is a signature rookies minor league card. He's pictured in his, I believe it's the Norwich Navigators, which was the Yankees AA team. This is from 1995, and it's autographed. I don't know if it shows up too well here. It's autographed by Rivera. This was a pack-pulled insert card autograph. This was not one signed at the ballpark. On the back, it has the signature rookies hologram here, indicating that they verified that the signature is authentic. And unfortunately, Rivera had a pretty brief major league career. He had some personality, attitude issues, and came up right about the same time as Derek Jeter, but unfortunately, Rivera kind of fizzled out and never really had much of a major league career. But a real popular player in the 90s if you were following minor league prospects as I was. Another Ruben Rivera, same player. This one's also autographed. A different signature rookies, packed pulled autograph. I just bought these, I think, at the Philadelphia show last year in 2024. I bought three of them. They were $1 each, and just for the nostalgia of going to the Norwich games just to see Rivera play, um, and enjoyed the fact he was a five-tool player, which was the kind of player I loved when I was following the baseball prospects in the '90s. And this is the third Ruben Rivera card, also autographed, also put out by Signature Rookies that I mentioned. Next up, we have Alex Rodriguez. This one is a 1993 Upper Deck um, #1 draft pick. This actually came out with the '94 Upper Deck Minor League set. This was a like an exchange card. You had to send in the copy, the voucher that came in the pack of cards. It was in the form of a trading card, but it was not a picture. It was just made to be submitted to Upper Deck, and they would in turn mail you this Upper Deck card. I think it was called a trade card back then. Okay, this one is a another '94 Upper Deck Alex Rodriguez minor league card. This one's a foil card, so very condition sensitive, kind of like the '93 SP Derek Jeter rookie. These were inserted in packs of Upper Deck minor league. There was top 10 prospects, so you had a chance to get 10 of them. And then there was randomly some other minor league inserts of some of the bigger name stars in those packs as well. So '94 Upper Deck minor league insert, Alex Rodriguez. Next up, we have a 1991 Impel marketing. Impel did a minor league series in wax packs in '91, picturing guys from single A all the way up to triple A. This one is Ivan Rodriguez, and this '91 would match his '91 Upper Deck final edition rookie card season, as well as his tops traded and his several other issues. I believe he was in the Ultra update set from '91 as well from Fleer. So '91 Impel, Ivan Rodriguez, he's pictured here with the Tulsa Drillers, which was the Rangers AA Texas League ball club. Next up, we have Tim Salmon, um, former star outfielder with the California Angels. This one is some sort of a California League, 1990 California League, part of the Palm Springs Angels team set. So this would have been a Class A ball card of Salmon. Might be his earliest professional baseball card. I'm not 100% sure. And he's pictured there with Palm Springs. Next up, we have one of the more traditional cards again. This goes back to the '80s. TCMA was the primary manufacturer of the minor league team sets. And I was a huge Juan Samuel fan when he came up to the Philadelphia Phillies in 1984, I believe it was. The year after they brought Julio Franco to the majors initially. And then Franco would move on and get traded to the Cleveland Indians, unfortunately, for the Phillies. But Samuel was second baseman throughout the rest of the '80s and would move on to the Mets, and I believe played for one or two other clubs toward the end of his career as well. But he was another power speed guy, 20 homer, 20 stolen base type of guy, especially for a second baseman during that time, was quite impressive. Was not the greatest defensive player, and again, also had some attitude issues and kind of got in trouble a few different occasions. But I believe he made a couple of all-star teams at second base, and one of my favorite players during the 1980s, Juan Samuel. This one's pictured in the Portland Beavers, which was the Phillies AAA ball club from 1983, the year before he would move up to Philadelphia. Okay, next up we have Reggie Sanders, another five-tool guy, center fielder. This is a 1988 Pro Cards, picturing him with the Billings Club. Sanders came up with the Cincinnati Reds minor league system. At this point, the Reds already had a pretty impressive young outfield with Eric Davis and Paul O'Neill and Cal Daniels initially. Daniels would move on to the Dodgers shortly after that. But Sanders came up through the same Reds minor league system and kind of similar to Eric Davis, not quite at the Davis level in terms of power and speed. But great all-around player, had a very distinguished major league career. Would move on to play for several other teams during the 90s, and believe put up a few 2020 seasons, 20 homers, 20 stolen bases. Next up, we've got Benito Santiago. He was a great San Diego Padres catcher, mostly in the late 80s. Here he's pictured at the very beginning of his professional baseball career. So this is a 1985 Beaumont TCMA card. Beaumont was the AA Texas League team for the San Diego Padres before Santiago would make it to the majors in 1987. And this is another TCMA issue as well. Next up, we have a 1987 Pro Cards, and Pro Cards was the primary minor league card manufacturer at this stage as you get into the late 80s. This is Curt Schilling in the Class A Greensboro uniform. And Schilling's pictured here. There's a error version of this card. I forget now what the error is. It might be that the player pictured is not Schilling, actually. I don't remember. I think they reversed the photo. There was two different players, and the one identified as Schilling was the other player's photo, and vice versa. I think that's what it was. But a Greensboro Curt Schilling card, Pro Cards. And this is definitely the real Curt Schilling. This is 1988 Pro Cards again. And this one is the New Britain Red Sox, where he pitched Double-A ball. And pictures him a year before he would come up to the major leagues and begin his major league career. This is one of the earlier TCMA issues. This is 1978. This was a Tidewater Tides minor league team set issue put out by TCMA. This is Mike Scott. Oddly enough, Mike Scott would come up to the majors with the New York Mets and work his way through the Mets system as a top prospect. Eventually got traded to the Houston Astros, and in 1986, I believe it was the National League Cy Young Award winner and the most dominant pitcher in the National League. And he would go on to face the Mets in the National League Championship Series playoffs that year, as the Mets had won the Eastern Division. The Astros won the West, and shut out the Mets in Game 1 of the National League Championship Series. I believe he gave up 2 or 3 hits. Shut out the Mets again in Game 4, 3 or 4, I forget now. But shut the Mets out again on about 2 hits or 3 hits allowed only. And the Astros ended up winning. The Astros ended up taking Game 6 into extra innings in a game that went on forever. That was the famous Billy Hatcher home run. The Mets ended up pulling out Game 6 in 16 innings or 18 innings. I forget exactly how long the game lasted. But the main rationale for that being such a big win, besides the Mets going to the World Series, was Mike Scott, of course, was going to be the starting pitcher for the Astros in Game 7, which would have been the alternative if the Mets did not pull out that Game 6 win and take the National League Championship. And of course, At that point, everybody on the Mets was totally intimidated by Scott and the two shutouts in the previous games, and very unlikely they would have been able to beat him in a game seven. So, quite a story. I've got a couple of, these are not minor league, but these are also Mike Scott cards from the mid 70s. These are from Venezuela, Winter League ball, where he played. Here he's with Aguilas, the ball club there. This one is a 74, 75 issue, I believe. This one, I believe, is a 77 Venezuelan League issue, again with Aguilas. Next up, we have Gary Sheffield. Gary Sheffield, one of the all-time great hitters in Major League Baseball. Unfortunately, was implicated in the PED steroid stuff going on in the 90s, 2000s, and that kind of tarnished his final career numbers, which were definitely Hall of Fame worthy. But until this day, Sheffield is still on the outside looking in at the Hall of Fame. This is 1987 Stockton. This was his first ever professional baseball card issued. Stockton was the Milwaukee Brewers Class A ball club where he began his professional career. Next up is another one of my favorite players from the 80s, another five-tool guy, Ruben Sierra. He came up with the Texas Rangers and had some big seasons in the late 80s, early 90s. Won an American League MVP and was another power speed guy, played right field, had a fantastic throwing arm, and had a couple of 30 home run seasons. Didn't steal quite as many bases, but he was usually in the teens or so. And hit for a good average. He had a very long, productive major league career. Played for a number of different teams. Played for the Yankees at one point. So Ruben Sierra, this is 1985 Tulsa Drillers. His major league rookie card was the 86 Fleer, the 86 Fleer update, and the 86 Donruss, the rookies. So those were two end of the season extended sets. So this is 85, the year before Tulsa Drillers, Texas League. This was not a TCMA issue. This was put out by the team. The company that printed it was called Speed Print. So Ruben Sierra. Next up, we have another TCMA issue. This is 1980, another Hall of Famer here, Lee Smith, great Hall of Fame relief pitcher, one of the all-time saves leaders in MLB history. He came up with the Chicago Cubs. This one pictures him in his Wichita Arrows minor league uniform. His rookie card is 1982, Topps Fleer Donruss. So this is 2 years prior to his MLB rookie card, 1980 TCMA. Next up is Lonnie Smith. Lonnie Smith was a outfielder primarily with the St. Louis Cardinals. Great average hitter, a little bit of power, had a lot of speed. Him and Ozzie Smith and several of the other Cardinals, Vince Coleman again later on, would have the Cardinals running the bases all over the place during the 90s, 80s, and 90s. Willie McGee as well. So Lonnie Smith came up with the Phillies. His rookie card was a 79 Topps Phillies prospects with the three players on it. This is not a minor league card, as you can see. It's a Venezuelan League card. He's playing for Aguilas. This one, I believe, was from 77, so this predates that Topps rookie by 2 years. Next up, we have another Hall of Famer. This is John Smoltz. Smoltz is pictured in this 1987 Pro Cards minor league. Glens Falls. This was a Detroit Tigers Class A team. This is Smoltz's second ever minor league card. He has a card in the previous season, 1986 Pro Cards with the Lakeland Tigers. So Smoltz came up with the Tigers, ended up getting traded to the Atlanta Braves. for Doyle Alexander, as the Tigers had a pennant push in 1987, and they brought Alexander in, and he did a phenomenal job at the end of the season, won a bunch of games, and for Detroit. And the trade-off was they gave up Smoltz, who, of course, went on to become a Hall of Fame first starting pitcher, and then Hall of Fame caliber relief pitcher, also for the Atlanta Braves. Okay, the last one we're going to look at today is again another one of my five tool favorites. He came along later though. This is a 1999 Just Miners. That was a minor league card printing company at that time. They put the cards out in packs again. These were not team sets. This is Alfonso Soriano. Began his professional career with the Yankees. Top prospect, another five-tool player. He actually had 30-30 seasons twice, I think, and came very close to a 40-40 season one time as well. So fantastic athlete. He moved around a lot after the Yankees. He played with Texas. He played with the Chicago Cubs and a number of other major league teams. Not much of a defensive player, but fantastic offensive ball player. Alfonso Soriano. Here he's pictured with the Norwich Navigators, which was the 1999 Yankees Double A Eastern League club. And this one's obviously autographed. This came from the pack autographed. So that's going to wrap up today's episode for my minor league baseball collection. We got to see a bunch of Hall of Famers today, a couple of autographs. As usual, a whole variety of different things, including some Venezuelan League cards from the 70s as well. So I hope you enjoyed the showing. Have a great day, and I'll catch you guys again on the next one.